This is a really awesome and fast receiver, but there is no way to customize the key color. Well, I found a way to do it. So before you start, you need a thin piece of a film, any color you would like, Phillips screwdriver, needle nose pliers, a brush, and a flat small screwdriver. We are going to start by removing the smaller screws, two on each side. Those screws help to secure the display into the chassis. After removing the screws, the only thing that holds the display in place are those little black tabs that can be pressed in with a small flat screwdriver. Start with one side. While you press those little tabs in, try to pull out the screen and do the same on the other side, and eventually the display is gonna come loose. Notice the two black connectors, they have to be aligned when you put the screen back together, but don't worry about this right now, we'll talk later about it. Once we get the display out, there are three connectors that need to be carefully removed. It's pretty easy, and one on the top can be removed with needle nose pliers. And for the bottom ones, I will show you how you can remove them with a close-up shot. With a flat screwdriver, pull up on the black tab and grab the connector with your fingers. This type of connectors is very easy. Just grab it with something and it should snap out. After all three connectors are disconnected, we have to detach the display from its frame, which is held by those black tabs. Grab the black tabs away from the metal frame while you pull up on the metal frame with your thumb, and at some point it should be released. It's probably a better idea to place it somewhere flat and try to grab it better from many sides as possible, and that should help a lot. Now carefully pull up the display assembly and do not separate the display from the board. Remember how it came out, the black marking should sit next to the connector. Now we should focus on the keyboard, which is this little metal bar. That's where the LED lights are. We need to pop it out from the sides using a small screwdriver, and be careful not to bend it. As you can see, there are openings for each key light. We are going to put a film between the keyboard and the frame. Let's start by cutting the film. Should be 144mm long and 4mm tall. Once you have your film cut, we are going to place it into the keyboard seating, just like this, but also make sure not to cover this hole, that's your dimming sensor. It's time to reassemble the unit. Start by placing the keyboard back in place and press firmly on the sides all along it. After you have that in place, might be a good idea to get rid of the unwanted dust particles, otherwise you might see some dust specks stuck between the display and the outer cover. From now on, the process should be in reverse order. When you place the display back in its housing, make sure you feed that connector through that opening, and also the keyboard connector should not be crushed in. Once you clear the way out, give it a little wiggle if it doesn't click back in place from the first time, and yeah, it should be secured. Time to put back the connectors. You do it in the pretty much same way you took them off, except you have to push down on the little black tab once you slid in the connector. When you put these back together, make sure those connectors match. Give it a little press and those tabs should snap back in. And we are almost done. The only remaining step is securing the display assembly with those 4 screws that we initially removed. And here's the outcome. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to click like and subscribe for more similar content. I'll see you in the next video.